SWAT! You remember the Razr, don't you?
Oh yeah,
I think it was
a little flippy phone.
I think it was released in 04. They've been Motorola's biggest selling phones. I think even more so than the Droids.
So what would you do to make that all better?
You will combine the power of the Droid branding with the iconic slimness of the Razr. He's not the only one that can do an
Yeah, Motorola officially announced on the 18th the new Motorola Razr. It's going to be a Droid too. It's going to be 7.1 millimeters thin, which is like, we don't even use millimeters in America. So people are like, it's thin! What's that millimeter? They built it out of Kevlar fiber. It uses Corning Gorilla Glass.
Monkeys! Monkeys! We have no new jokes! We're like Conan!
A lot of the new smartphones use the Gorilla Glass. Even though it's very thin, it should be very durable and scratch resistant.
Dual core 1.2 gigahertz processor.
Now, who's gonna release this new fabulous phone?
Verizon. So it's going to be running LTE, which is cool because the Bionic was the first dual-core LTE device, and it's had problems. So it's going to be interesting to see if they're upping the clock speed on this one, and if they're going to run into the same problems that the Bionic. It has a 4.3-inch Super AMOLED display. QHD. It's going to be the first phone that supposedly can stream Netflix in HD. It ships with Gingerbread 2.3.5, which is a newer version, which is nice.
My name's Luke and I talk with my arms and touch my face.
It's got a gig of RAM, which is tops on any phone. The 4S has
512, I think.
yes.
8 megapixel rear facing camera, 1080p HD capture, image stabilization, and a front facing cam of
1.3 megs. It's 1.3 megapixels.
It's 1.3 megs.
It's 1.3 megapixel. It's gonna be so fabulous because you can video chat with all your friends. Sunday.
So they've included remote wipe capabilities, a pin lock, and government grade encryption. The cool thing is they have 16 gigs of internal storage, and then it comes pre-installed with a 16 gig microSD card. So that's 32 gigs right there. It actually is going to ship with Bluetooth 4.0. I don't really use Bluetooth that much. I don't know.
I used to use it whenever I had it on my laptop.
Yeah, and honestly, it makes me sick to see those guys walking around with Bluetooth in their ear like they're like, I am important.
I'm making money right now.
Making money. They are making the Razr connect with all their laptop accessories, Lapdock accessories. Which is nice.
Turns it into a netbook, basically.
It'll be available early November for $299.
Locked bootloader.
It does have a locked bootloader, which
Stop touching your face.
at least I don't have a freaking pimple the size of Mars.
That hurt.
Developers will get around it. It's going to take them a little bit longer, but eventually I'm sure it'll be rooted. The big thing to me is it's a non-removable battery. Why? If a dual-core processor, you have this Super AMOLED bright screen, you have all this stuff, and you have a stock battery you can't replace. And there's going to be people that want to replace it to get better battery life. That's the Motorola Razr. Why aren't you talking about the Google Nexus? They took off Prime from the name, which ticks me off because that was the coolest part of the freaking name. It's not on Verizon. It's on Sprint. I didn't want to divide. I invented new words, Dwight. I don't know how to speak when I'm on camera. Can you help me, sir? The new Sprint phone that's going to be the first phone released that's running ice cream sandwich, which is
Sandwich.
ice cream sandwich for your face, baby.
Is there an M in the English word for sandwich?
It comes with mayonnaise.
On the 20th, Google said, we are releasing the source code, don't worry. And as soon as we release the ice cream sandwich source code, we're going to release honeycomb too. Developers, don't worry. You'll be able to get the source code for 4.0, and all of us hackers will be very happy. Do you know what an Angry Bird is, Ray?
Shut up.
Who's calling me?
Women.
Joel.
Yeah, I'll call me.
Oh, denied, Joel!
I'm not talking to you, Joel.
I'm sure everybody has either heard of or probably played Angry Birds. There's like 5 different versions of it. If you don't know what it is, it's a bird bombing suicide game where birds try and kill pigs. Seems simple enough, but it's been downloaded over 400 million times. It's become a household name. Everybody knows Angry Birds. Rovio is the Finnish company behind the title. They're trying to turn the worldwide popularity into an entertainment franchise. They want to rival Mickey Mouse and Mario Brothers.
Even Mario.
It's me, Mario.
Woo-hoo! Good luck with that.
Angry Birds World.
They plan to sell millions of toys, produce an Angry Birds cartoon, and even make a movie.
That'd be awesome to have like a theme park where you get launched like the birds.
And like things. Oh my gosh! Ah! They have things at Walmart, and they're already selling out of stuff.
Not at our Walmart. What's this thing? I don't have a computer.
They've already sold 10 million toys, and they plan to release an Angry Birds themed cookbook by the end of this year.
Is it like got geese in it?
I'm guessing it would be funny if all it is a pork recipes, because you know they're killing pigs. So that's what I'm guessing. It's going to be Angry Birds, and all it's going to have is pork recipes. They've acquired an animation studio in Helsinki, so there you go. They're about to do animated cartoon shorts online.
Are they going to salute their shorts?
Awesome show, by the way. We run, we jump, we swim. They've also hired David Maisel. I think so. Maisel? Is it the Maisel?
You have the measles.
You have the Maisel. He's Marvel Comics boss, and he's produced Iron Man, Hulk, and Thor. It's gonna be interesting to see what an Angry Birds movie's gonna be like.
Is it going to star Russell Crowe? Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
Thumb up this video if you
Come
got
on,
the joke.
if you got the joke. They were about to collapse in 2009, and now it's worth 1.2 dollars. Be on the lookout for an Angry Birds movie.
Flying into an area near you.
Whoa!
Bird. Topic number 3. Harry.
A-R-R-I. Our free rearing. He's like a free
The
rearing.
camera producers Arri, Panavision, and Aiton.
Aiton for hours now. Oh my either.
Anyway, Arri, Panavision, and Aiton have all quietly ceased production of their film cameras. Bill Russell, the VP of Arri, says that the demand for film cameras on a global basis has all but disappeared, which really it's like 30%, I think is what they say.
30% counts as disappeared now, people.
He's predicting that in 2 or 3 years it might be 85% digital and 15% film.
Aiton introduced this last film camera. Aiton introduced this last film camera. They named it Penelope.
That's why I failed.
Penelope was released 3 years ago and only sold like 50 to 60 of them. Yeah.
Spent lots of money.
Probably millions.
Panavision built their last 35mm, which is the Millennium XL.
That's a cool name.
That's the one they used for Indiana Jones.
George Lucas, stop screwing things up.
Please.
I'm Pierre Bavaria.
Bavaria, yeah.
That's Italian. I'm John Pierre Bavaria. I'm Italian, not French.
I'm much of the Eastern Europeans. He's the founder of Aiton. He believes that the stereoscopic 3D has accelerated the demise of film because film is so hard to synchronize.
Is it a fad that's going to, slowly die out? I don't know.
Deluxe and Technicolor have plans to kind of downsize and split up the different things for printing and distribution. So Technicolor is like the name brand of, it's in Technicolor,
You see that still at the end of the credits.
Yeah, and Panavision, it's crazy that, Panavision is going to get out of film. Technicolor CMO, Ahmad Auri, says, "We've been planning to transition from film to digital. We know one day film won't be around." Scary thoughts. Fun fact, in July of this year, more than half the screens in theaters have been converted to digital.
And I think Ray's the same way, we frequent the theater that's in our area that has the DLP projectors.
It thinks your eyeballs.
Yeah.
It's goodness.
So it's nice.
Patrick Corcoran, Director of Media and Research for the National Association of Theater Owners, or NATO, predicts that sometime in 2013, all theater screens will be digital, and it'll be absolutely necessary to switch to digital cinema to survive. Which I don't know if I agree with that, because you can still, no matter what media you film it in, you can still convert it to the other one. Chris Nolan, who did Dark Knight, Inception, and Darren Aronofsky, they go out of their way to shoot on film, and Chris Nolan even shoots on IMAX. Why? This is our big thing. Digital is essentially free once you have the camera and the storage. You pay, but for film, you pay for each foot of film, both the film stock, and also the processing.
Yeah, there's no way amateurs like us, or even some professionals that do it, could afford to make movies if they didn't have digital.
Yeah, like Robert Rodriguez, his first film, first feature-length film was El Mariachi, and he spent $6,000 on it. He said $600 of that actually went into stuff besides the film. Digital brags to be a higher resolution than film, but the problem is, whenever you make movies on film, it actually uses every square millimeter on that film. But whenever you film on digital, it has sensors along the way. So it's like, even though they're scanning it in. They're like, well, we have a higher res on this. It's like, well, just use a better scanner and you'll have a higher res on this. Because every little piece of it is data.
Actually.
So yeah, get better scanners and shut up. Film cameras are going to do really good with your highlights. So like if we filmed outside the window over here, you would be able to see us and the detail out there. But if you use a digital, you're going to either see us or what's outside the window because there's such a light difference. But where the digital comes in is that they have really good low lights because they can crank up the ISOs and all that.
You always hear people trying to get their digital footage to have the film look. You never hear anybody say, man, I wish my film looked like the digital. That's all the talks we got for today.
So yeah, maybe next time I won't have the measles.
He does have the big pimply measles. I got one too though, not as big.
I'm a clown, what do you expect?
First fart on SWAT!
You can see the camera shake when it happens.
Oh.